Oh, hey everybody. I did not know my camera was still going. Yeah, sorry if I made you hungry by eating me a piece of bacon, but I can't resist. I just love bacon. And some of CM Punk's drink. But anyways, of course, you know, I'm Thrash Maniac HD, and this is your NXT review for December 18th, 2013. For the first time ever watching the new NXT, I watched it the night it was on. I watched it last night. And this is the 200th episode of NXT ever, going back to February, March 2010 when they started doing the whole rookies and pros concept. Um, but yeah, overall, the 200th episode of NXT, I say, was a great episode. You had some good stuff, some really good matches. Let's get into it, shall we? So we start off the show with Triple H coming out, and basically NXT is like it's Triple H's pride and joy of being one of the head honchos of WWE because he loves focusing on the developmental system. And I give Triple H credit where credit's due. He cares about the younger talent in the developmental system because NXT is amazing. So he came out and congratulated all the fans, saying that this is your guys' show where anything can happen. And that was pretty cool. But we get our first match of the show, which was the best match of the whole show, a tag team match. And listen to the participants: Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd, boy, what a team right there, versus Leo Kruger and Antonio Cesaro, what a team there. These four went out there for about 15 minutes, a great tag match. I thought this was just an absolutely great tag match. And I loved the spot where Tyson Kidd jumped between the top and second rope and did a senton on Cesaro. I thought that was pretty cool. But Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd picked up the victory in this match, which was pretty cool. So yeah, it was awesome to see those guys pick up this victory. Overall, a great match. Then we get a segment with Natalya and Emma, where Natalya's watching the match, and Emma from behind doing the Emma dance, and basically burned Natalya for being on Total Divas, pretty much, saying, "Whoa, wow, look at how much being famous has made you change, Natalya." And I was like, "Burn, bitch." But they were building it up for maybe for next week. We're going to get a number one contenders match for Paige's women's title between these two, which I'm kind of looking forward to that. Natalya had a really damn good match with Paige 2 weeks ago. I'd say put her with Emma, and Emma's pretty good in her own right. Put them together, and they could put on a really good match as well. And then we get, speaking of women's matches, we get one next. Sasha Banks versus the women's champion, Paige. I thought this was a good match. Paige ended up getting the win, which was awesome. They need to have her get momentum on her side for her to go to the main roster eventually. Then we get a segment with Colin Cassidy and the now injured Enzo Amore with a leg injury. And they're talking to Aiden English, making fun of his singing voice, and Aiden's like, "Well, you know what, Colin? If you say you're better than me, how about next week we have a sing-off?" And I'm like, oh boy, Aiden English is going to kill Colin Cassidy with that. And then here's the moment a lot of indie marks, if they watched this episode, they would be marking out big time for this next match. The Ascension, the NXT Tag Champs, do their open challenge, and the team that comes out is the American Pitbulls, or better known as the American Wolves from Ring of Honor, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, now under new names. I forgot what their names were, but I'll just call them Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, because that's who they were. They come in to challenge the Ascension in the open challenge match. While the match was only about 7-8 minutes or so, I thought this match was pretty good. This was a pretty good match. Hopefully these guys get signed full time and hang around in the NXT roster for the tag team division, because the NXT tag division, you really right now only have 3 teams. The Ascension, Hunico Camacho, and Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy. But now that team's not together right now, active, because Enzo Amore's injured. So technically you only got 2 teams, the Ascension and Hunico Camacho. So they need to sign these guys full time for the tag team division in NXT, and then if they get good enough, break away and feud against each other. Get good enough, go to the main roster and kick ass. And speaking of Hunico and Camacho, after the Ascension won this match, Hunico and Camacho come out and are looking at the Ascension's titles, and they want another shot at them. Look forward to see what will happen next time around. Then we get a Kofi Kingston interview, and they said this is his first time being involved in the new NXT, making an appearance. And then here comes Lana, the manager for Alexander Rusev, comes up to Kofi and issues a challenge for Alexander Rusev to face Kofi next week. Kofi accepts, and that was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty good interview. So next week, we got 3 big things happening, or actually 4 big things. Number 1, first and foremost, next Wednesday is Christmas, so it's the Christmas edition of NXT, which is going to be pretty cool. And also, number 2, it's NXT Rewind week, because they're going to look back at the year of NXT, look at matches of the year and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Then number 3, we get matches. The first one, Kofi Kingston versus Alexander Rusev. And then number 2, and this has been getting built up for a few weeks now, and it's finally happening next week, William Regal versus Antonio Cesaro. That match should be kick-ass. Can't wait for next week, and also it's a Christmas edition. Now we get to the main event, the NXT title on the line in a lumberjack match. Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville. Now, I got to kind of point something out. Most of the lumberjacks that were in ringside, I did not know of. The only one I saw that I recognized was Tyler Breeze. And speaking of Tyler Breeze, at one point during the match, Adrian Neville is outside the ring, and Tyler Breeze is like, no, I'll throw him in. He tries to throw him in. Neville puts his foot up against the apron, and Tyler's like, go in. And then Neville smacks him right in the face, and Tyler Breeze is just sitting like in a corner for most of the match, like, you hit me in my beautiful face. Because, of course, that's his gimmick. He doesn't want anyone hitting his face. So that comes back to haunt Adrian Neville later on. Later on, while near the end of the match, Adrian Neville is going to connect with Red Arrow. Tyler Breeze gets up, pulls Bo Dallas out of the way. Neville misses, and Bo Dallas, 1, 2, 3. Bo Dallas retains the NXT Championship in what was a really good match. I thought this was a really good match right here. I love the spot whenever all the lumberjacks except Tyler Breeze were over by the entrance ramp, all at Bo Dallas, and Adrian Neville does a swanton from the top rope on all of them, takes them all down. I thought that was pretty awesome. But Bo Dallas retains after Tyler Breeze screwed over Adrian Neville in what was a really good match. But now, who's going to be the next contender for Bo Dallas? Maybe Sami Zayn gets another shot. Maybe Leo Kruger gets another shot. Who knows? But I am looking to see coming up Adrian Neville-Tyler Breeze feud, which will be pretty cool to see. And that is it for NXT this week. Great episode. I would check it out if you want to check it out for yourself. Link is in the description box. But until next video, peace.